Welcome everyone to our Flow to Restore class this evening. It's going to be a full body relax and release session. So for that very purpose, have 2 pillows, 2 books or blocks, and anything else you need to support you. We're also going to be working on this concept of soothe today. So we're going to be soothing the body and kind of tapping into some of the self-regulatory mechanisms that we have at our disposal, but sometimes we don't always use to help soothe our bodies and our minds. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start on the back today, just because I think it's a nice way to fully be able to breathe. So we're not working to lift ourselves up or to hold in a certain position. We can start to really tap into a deep full breath here. You can do whatever you like with your legs. I like to have my feet fairly wide and my knees together, but you do you. If it feels comfortable, bring your hands to the belly and to the low ribs. So you can feel these low ribs here. One hand on the belly, one on those ribs. Tuck your chin towards your chest so the back of the neck lengthens a little further. And if it's available, close your eyes and mouth. Begin to breathe in and out of your nose. And as always, we'll use the first few moments to tap into that breath and to cultivate a sense of mindfulness. Begin to observe your breath as it moves in and out of your body. Allow the muscles of the face and shoulders to soften with each exhale. And begin to observe your breath without trying to alter it. Notice what the breath feels like. How is the breath moving and interacting with your body? Use this awareness of your breath to begin to let go of the day thus far. Anything you may have carried onto your mat with you today, begin to let go of it. Allow these things to wait for you as you take the next hour or so to focus fully on yourself and fully focus on that sense of soothe. Begin to actively deepen your breath now, drawing the inhale down into your low ribs. Feel your rib cage start to expand a little further in response to your deepening breath. And if it feels available to you, let's take the inhale in for a count of 4. And the exhale for a count of 6. In and out of the nose if possible. But if the nose is a bit stuffy or the exhale is tricky through the nose, feel free to exhale through pursed lips, and that will help to slow the breath as well. Keep this cycle going. 4 in, 6 out. Focus on the movement of your rib cage first, and the belly will rise in response to that movement of the rib cage. Notice that sense of expansion you feel on the inhale, and that sense of softening and contraction on the exhale. If the mind starts to worry or wander, that's fine, but practice bringing your attention back to your breath. Take a few more cycles here. Try to maintain the focus on what the breath feels like. Allowing the mind to start to slow and maybe still for a few seconds or milliseconds. Then on your next inhale, hold the breath at the top of your inhale. And when you're ready, open the mouth and let's sigh it out. Just let something out. Nice. Let's go ahead and bring your knees in towards your belly. Give yourselves a nice little squeeze. And just take easy movement side to side. Any little movement that feels good here. And then we're just going to roll to one side and lift up into a seat. And we'll come straight into table. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, about hip distance apart. Now we're going to turn our fingers out to the left and to the right. And we're just going to start to sway side to side. Now, if you want more intensity here, which you may want, you don't need to do this, you could start to walk your hands closer together. The closer the wrists are, the more stretch you'll experience. But remember, it's not always about the deepest sensation, the biggest tug ever. Even if you don't feel much in this movement, you're still doing the body good. And if it feels okay, we're going to start to circle the hips now. So you're going to move to one side and circle back. Just take a few breaths here. I'll encourage you to close your eyes. And because we are just warming up, we don't want to start at that, level 10 intensity. Start to breathe and ease into it. Always the breath first and the movement second. Take your circles round the other way and keep breathing into those low ribs, trying to maintain that same breath that we worked on in the beginning. Nice, and then we're going to meet in a neutral position. Keep your fingers turned out as long as that feels okay, and if it doesn't feel okay, turn them forward. We're going to walk the knees back just a little bit, and we're going to start to firm through the low belly. So instead of here sagging, we're going to push just enough so you engage the shoulders and through the low belly. With this neutral spine, start to sit your bum down towards your heels, and you probably won't come all the way down. So keep your hands on the floor, thumbs on the floor. Just notice how far you're coming. It doesn't have to be all the way down. Relax your head, push into the hands, feel some intensity. And then as you inhale, let's lift up, bring your hips forward, squeeze your glutes as we come into a little back bend. And maybe turn the head side to side, but do make sure your glutes are still on. The shoulders are active, so we're not slumping in the shoulders, but you're still pushing down enough that you can stabilize through the shoulder socket. And then as you exhale, take it back one more time, firming through the low belly, so we maintain that long neutral spine. Nice, and then gently come forward here, and we're going to sit onto the heels. If this is not accessible, you can sit in chair as well, and it might feel better to bring a pillow between your bum and your legs. I'll just give you more space, but if that still isn't good, find a seat that is good. So we're going to get into the wrists a little bit more because we're always using our wrists. We're typing, we're writing, and stuff can go awry, so we want to strengthen and mobilize them. So what we're going to do is do an active little mobilization for the wrists. Turn your fingers back towards your toes and bring the heel of the hand down. Now you don't want the hands too far forward, so try to pull them back as much as you can. Now your tendency, you're going to want to lean forward because this will make the movement easier. So try to lean back. You're going to keep the heel of the hand grounded, and you're going to try and lift your fingers off the floor. Now you can lean forward a little bit so you get the hang of that movement, and you're like, okay, I can do that, that's easy. And then you start to lean back until you feel a shake. And then you're going to lower the fingers down and exhale through pursed lips to lift your fingers up, heel of the hand grounded. And keep leaning back. Notice if you're straining your neck or clenching your jaw. Just do a few of these. So we're moving through active wrist extension here. We're using the forearm extensors here. And remember, for a joint to be happy and healthy, it needs an even balance of mobility, yes, but also strength. And usually what most of us lack is strength. I'm getting so hot just from doing this, like my face is just burning. Woo! And then give it a shake, let it go. All right, we're gonna do a little active mobilization here and pay attention to my hands. We're gonna do one hand at a time. This is also a good little brain exercise. So you're gonna flip your, just say right hand up and hug your elbow in. So you're gonna draw your fingers towards your wrist and come through that full extension of the joint. Notice if your forearm is coming up, try and keep your forearm in pretty much the same orientation. You can even hold it if you want to. And then you're gonna turn your fingers in and down all the way around. And you're gonna lift the fingers back. So now your palm is forward, fingers tug back. And then we're gonna bring the hand out to the side and then back in. Let's do that again. Fingers in, pull them up and back, and then out to the side. Whew. In and to the side. Move slow, pull it back, and out. One more time. In, to the side, up, out, in. One more time, I lied. Do it one more time. It's really, really good for the health and mobility of the wrist. Ooh, makes me so hot. Okay, give it a shake. All right, we're gonna do the other hand. So hug that left elbow in, palm faces up to start out with. Draw the fingers back. See, even I'm doing it. I'm pulling that forearm back. And then we're gonna turn in with the hand, and we're gonna draw the fingers back, turn out and up. Turn in, fingers back, and out. This is my difficult hand, if you can't tell. Pull it back, draw it in, up and back, out, up, in. One side will be harder than the other. One more time, just finish it out. And then give it a shake. Gorgeous. All right, we're gonna come back into our tabletop position. And we're going to cross the right leg behind the left. So you're just picking up the right leg, crossing at the thighs. Squeeze your inner thighs together and step your left hand slightly in front of the left shoulder. We're going to pivot our feet and our shins off the mat to the left. So you're just going to give a little pivot. You can also get your pillow under your knees. Inhale, reach your right arm high, squeeze your inner thighs together. And as you exhale, let's reach your right arm forward, 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 and tap your fingers to the floor if you can. Inhale, lift the arm all the way up and reach it behind you this time. Exhale, reach the arm forward, push the hips forward, fingers to the floor. Inhale, up and back, reach your fingers to the back. Just one more. Exhale, reach it forward, and then bring your hands down. And we're going to swivel, so we're facing forward again. And same thing, opposite side. So cross your left leg over the right. You can always get a pillow under your knees. Step your right hand slightly in front of the right shoulder and swivel your legs to the right. Let's reach that left arm high and push your hips forward. A little glute engagement, never hurt anyone. And then we're gonna reach that left arm forward and see if you can tap the fingers down. Big juicy stretch through the side body. Inhale, reach the arm up and back. So we're mobilizing through the shoulders, through the hips, through the ribs, all the good stuff. Reach forward, tap the floor. Just one more, reach it all the way up. Move as slow as you can, moving with your breath. Exhale, reach it forward and plant those hands down and come back into a neutral position. And then we're just gonna sit back into a child's pose. Flip your palms up to the ceiling and breathe deeply into your belly now. So soften the shoulders, soften the wrists. Come back to that diaphragmatic breath into the rib cage. Nice. And then on your next inhale, let's find our downward facing dog. Lift your hips high, bend the knees. Give it a little walk if that feels right. Bending one leg at a time. Maybe give your head a little shake side to side. And then we're going to bend both of those knees, firm through the low belly, just enough. So again, we're maintaining that long, beautiful spine. And then walk your hands back to your feet until you're folding over the thighs. Relax the head. Maybe grab opposite elbows if that feels good. Either stay still or find a gentle movement side to side. But of course, keep breathing very deeply here. Switch the cross of your arms if your arms are crossed. And then gently lower your hands down. Inhale, start to roll up to stand. Chin is tucked to your chest, head is very heavy. Nice, and we'll meet standing. Now make sure that you have a block or a book nearby on the right hand side. So I'm just going to set a block here. And you may want a pillow as well to pad under the knee. So if you want that, have it to hand. Come to the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up high. Push into your heels, grow tall. Reach the fingertips up. The shoulders lift. There's some heat, there's some engagement. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward with control. Inhale, halfway lift with the knees bent. Lengthen the spine and just tuck the chin a little bit back towards the back of the neck. Lower on down. Let's step that right leg back and maybe bring it down to a pillow. Give it some cushion. We're going to lift up to our 90-90 lunge. Right knee directly under right hip. Give your right glutes a little feel. Make sure that they're engaging and contracting. Take an inhale, reach your arms high. Extend the fingers. Exhale, switch to the right hand side. So we're twisting. Left arm forward. Now here's where you may want to have a block. Oop, almost lost it. A block right to the inside edge of your forward leg. So probably you'll want it. Let's reach that left arm forward. Inhale. Exhale, left hand down to your block. Reach through the fingertips. Lengthen through that side body. And then we're going to do this little semicircle with that top arm. So bring your hand behind you and then sweep your upper arm close to your ear. Reach through the fingers and twist the chest. So you should feel some nice lengthening through the side body. As you inhale, lift back up, come into your twist. And as you exhale, reverse it. So the right arm behind and the left arm overhead. Keep those glutes on. In fact, keep your hand on your bum. Keep a hand on your bum and just feel if the muscle switches off. Gently lower down, left hand onto your block. Sweep the right arm forward, deep inhale in. Exhale, lift up and take it back. Hand on the hamstring now, lower down if possible. So right under the glutes, if that feels good. If it doesn't, hand on the low back is also great. Lower down, just one more time. Sweep that arm forward, breathe, inhale. Exhale, let's lift up and reverse. Option this time, just an option, to tuck the back toes. And if it's available, to catch your heel. Keep your glutes on and sweep that left arm up. Glutes, glutes, glutes. Lengthen. And then gently lift up. Face forward. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. And let's step back. Find your tabletop. So knees under hips. Come to the fingertips. Little like cupcake hands. And then you're going to reach your hands to the top of the mat. Arms straight, puppy pose. Firm through the low belly. Inhale. Exhale, start to lower downwards. And take a few pulses here. So inhale, you're going to lift. And exhale, you're going to pulse down. Now if it's uncomfortable to stay on the fingertips, I understand. You can always come down to the palms. I just personally like the fingertips because it helps create a little more extension, but it's not necessary. Find stillness. Inhale. Exhale, let's slide down onto the belly. Bring the elbows under your shoulders and hug the elbows in. Push the top of the feet down. Use your glutes to stabilize the pelvis. So give them a poke if they need it. Tug your hands back so we're in Sphinx. Remember, it's really easy to just create a shape, to just kind of be passive and slumpy, but nothing's really happening there. There's really no effectiveness from doing something like that. So what we want to do instead is find that subtlety and engagement. So pull the hands back, which will help draw the chest forward, and use your glutes. And then lower on down. Slide back to a child's pose of your choice. So that means your legs can be wide, legs can be together. The hands can be down or flipped up, or maybe down by your feet. Really, whatever resonates with you. And remember, if child's pose is not restful for you, find a different pose, maybe on the back. Always modifying to make it work for you. Take a deep inhale in. Open the mouth, just let something go. Come back to that idea of self-soothing. Notice if there's anywhere where you may still be gripping or tensing, those areas where you know you hold tension, those areas that you would have a massage therapist immediately start to work on. Start to bring your breath and work on it yourself. There's no substitute for massage, but we can help. We can help those tissues a little bit by consciously relaxing. And then when you're ready, let's come up to down dog. Bend the knees, lengthen the spine, lift those hips up high. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, right leg forward, left knee to a pillow or the floor. I'm going to bring my block to the inside edge of my forward leg, just because, again, I could reach the floor, but I want it to be a bit softer today. Turn on through those glutes, so we're finding length through the front of the hip. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, twist to the left, right arm forward. Be mindful of your forward knee. It's probably going to want to come in. Keep it moving out. Inhale. Exhale, right hand to your block and sweep that left arm, that little semicircle. I'll show you again. So arm behind and up and hugging in. So we get a nice length through the left side. Nice. Inhale, let's lift up into our twist. Remember, you can keep your hand on the sacrum, that tailbone base of the spine, and then we're going to take it up and back. Or you could have your hand on the glute, just feeling it fire. It's always good to be touching these muscles, giving them sensory feedback. Inhale, let's come up and down. Exhale, sweep the left arm forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, reverse. Maybe hand to the hamstring now, so the back of the thigh, if that feels appropriate. Inhale, bring it on down. A little sweep of the arm. Last one, big exhale, lift up. And maybe tuck your back toes and catch your heel. Only if it's easy, only if it's like right there, right? And keep pushing your pelvis forward. Reach through that right arm. Breathe deeply. Should feel really, really great. And then slowly lift up. Woo. And let's bring those arms up, face forward. Bring the hands down and let's step back. Find your downward facing dog. Hips lift up high. Bend the knees, lengthen the spine. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, left leg forward, right knee down. 90-90, let's lift it up. Using the glutes. Now, some people feel more stable with the back toes tucked. It's really up to your preference. A weird hair thing. Inhale, reach your arms high. Oh wait, no. Get your block. Sorry, forgot the block. See, I usually don't use a block, so I forget sometimes. Use those glutes, reach the arms high, inhale. Exhale, twist to the left, right arm forward this time. So we're twisting in the other direction. Now notice if your arms are doing all the twisting or the neck. See if you can find that rotation through the thoracic spine that area around the rib cage. Bring your right hand down, inhale, sweep the left arm forward, keep using your glutes. Exhale, let's lift up and back. So maybe hand onto those glutes or to the sacrum. Reach your right arm behind you. So we're now both twisting and in a little back bend, which is really lovely for the spine. Nice, inhale, lower down, sweep your left arm forward, and really reach it. And you can even over-exaggerate the length here on this side if that feels good. Rounding. Exhale, lift up, hand to hamstrings. Glutes, glutes, glutes. Inhale, lower down. Just one more time here. Exhale, lift up. Now it's going to be much harder, but if it feels appropriate, you could grab your heel and reach back. But it's going to be trickier this time. You don't have to grab the heel to be a good yogi. It's just about what feels good. Keep twisting and bending. That's what's most important, that movement in the spine, not about the hand on the foot. And then let's lift up. Inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, hands down. Let's step back to table. And let's move through some cat-cow here. So slow as cat-cow possible. Inhale to lengthen the sternum and drop the belly. And exhale to round. Close your eyes. Notice where the movement is coming from. Notice how it feels. Try and deepen your breath so the movement becomes deeper. Take one last cycle of breath here. And then we'll be in a neutral position. And let's come into puppy pose. So your bum stays over the knees, arms reach forward. Inhale. Exhale, soften downwards, keeping your arms straight. So there's a little reach through the arms, through the fingers. And then gently lower down. Come into Sphinx pose. Engage right away. So your glutes are on both sides. Sometimes I have to really remind my left side that they're there. Pull the hands back, draw the low belly up. So what I mean by that is when we're just kind of sagging and disengaged, it kind of looks like this and the belly's just flopping down. But when you turn on the glutes, it helps engage the deep core. And you'll find a subtle little lift. Doesn't have to be massive, but you'll feel a little bit engagement, which can be quite tricky. So play around with that. And maybe if you want a little extra, try bringing your heels to your bum, pointing your toes, but keep that lift through the low belly, keep that tug of the hands back. If you feel any sort of pinch in one area of the spine, that's a sign to maybe bring it down a level. We want to find an even extension through the spine here. And then gently lower everything down. Let's slide back to child's pose or your pose of rest. Doesn't have to be child's pose. Do make sure that your forehead is resting on something though. So if child's pose is causing the head to lift, get a block or a pillow or something under your head so you can fully relax the neck and top of the shoulders. Nice, let's take that deep inhale in. And exhale, lift the hips up high. Bend the knees and lengthen the spine. Inhale, let's look forward. And exhale, we're going to step the left leg forward. And bring your right leg down. Oh wait, no, we already did that side. Other side. Sorry, right leg forward, left knee down. Take your block to the inside edge of the forward leg and lift up. Turn on through your glutes. Inhale, sweep your arms high, lengthen. So you're really exaggerating that length through both sides of the body. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale. Exhale, left hand down, right arm sweeps forward. Inhale. Exhale, lift up. Hand to the sacrum or to the booty and take it back. Inhale, bring it forward and down. Keep breathing here. And on the next exhale, we'll lift up. Maybe the hand to the hamstring, maybe. Or maybe you just stay exactly where you were before. Don't have to come lower every time. Inhale, forward and down. Last one. Keep breathing. Exhale, lift up and back. Now maybe you catch your heel if that feels appropriate. Keep your glutes on. Keep breathing. Maybe looking behind you. Steady the rhythm of the breath and lift the chest high. Remember, it's a twist and a back bend. And then lift up. Woo! Should feel really good. That's really nice for the spine. Let's come on down. And we're going to step back to down dog. Bend the knees, lengthen the spine. Give the little head shake side to side. Nice. Maybe bend your knees and move them a little bit side to side, getting a little stretch through the side body. That's one of my favorites. That's quite good. And then we'll meet in our dog when you're ready. Bend the knees, look forward. Step your right leg forward and bring your left leg down. Just do the same side again. Lifting up. This will be the last of the lunges, or the penultimate. Glutes are on. We're going to do something a little different this time. So bring your hands forward, palms face up, and then draw your hands down, or your fingers, I should say. Draw your fingers down. As you exhale, we're going to side bend towards the right. And keep your glutes on. That's the most important part, really, is your glutes. Nice. Now we're going to rotate to the left. So you're just going to turn to the left, but keep bending to the side. It's going to be a little bit funky. And bring your right forearm onto your forward thigh and just keep reaching. Relax your head. Tuck your chin to your chest. Keep reaching through your left arm and reach it down a little bit further so you feel a stretch through the left side body. And lean back into it. Lean back, lean back. Right ear towards right shoulder. Woo. Should feel nice and juicy. Oof. And then lift up. Nice. And then let's just roll those shoulders. Up and back 3 times. Feel the scapula gliding across the rib cage. And then let's reach those arms high. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. Let's step straight back to our downward facing dog. And remember, if you need to bend your knees to make this accessible, please do. Almost all humans need a little bend in the knee here. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, step the left leg forward. Don't know what word that was. Left leg, right knee down. And inhale, rise up, 90-90. Glutes are on, tail is tucked. So that's that posterior movement of the tailbone. That's going to really open up through the right hip. Arms forward, palms up. Draw the fingers down. Inhale to lengthen. Every time we side bend or twist, you always want to start from a lengthened spine position. And then as you exhale, side bend. It doesn't have to be a massive movement either. You really don't have to move much to feel this. Turn to the right, a little bit of a turn. Keep the legs in the same shape. Left forearm to left thigh. Left ear lowers down towards left shoulder, chin to chest. So you should feel a nice tug through the right side of your neck. You're still finding the stretch through the front of the right hip flexor. And of course, you're breathing still. Deep breath. Most important thing is just to breathe into those ribs. And then gently lift up. Oof. Nice. And then we're gonna do the shoulders in the other direction. So we're just gonna shrug them forward. If you can close your eyes, that's always the best, because then you really get a great awareness of how the body is moving. Oh, nice. And then you can just give it a little shake, whatever it needs. And then let's go ahead and step back to down dog. Hips lift high. Find a little movement, or maybe stay still. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bring your right leg forward for pigeon variation. So we're going to bring the right shin parallel to the front of the mat. And I say parallel because it doesn't really have to be. And the left leg is going to be bent. So usually in pigeon, the left leg is straight, but this will be a softer variation. And sit on something. Bring something under your right thigh and your right glute, please. Maybe even multiple somethings. And once you have something underneath your thigh and under your bum, you may find you can bring your right heel further away from your hip. Now, if this causes any discomfort in your knee, then back off. Sit up higher, do something different. Now we're gonna go ahead and frame that forward leg, and the back leg is, kind of hanging out here. It's bent, the heel can be in or more 90 degrees. Push into that forward shin, so there's a degree of engagement. Push through the big toe of the forward foot. Now we're going to do something a little different, and you may want blocks here, so have them nearby. As you exhale, we're going to twist towards the left, so you're twisting your chest, your sternum, towards your forward foot, and start to walk your hands towards that foot. Now this may be it, right? This may be all the body wants to do. Great, just hang out here. Maybe you need to lean back a little bit more as well, that's fine. Hands can be on blocks, also fine. Maybe you want more. So if you need a little bit more, you start to walk your hands forward, and particularly reach your right arm, really, really reach it away, and relax your head. Keep pulling your arms away from you. Keep that engagement throughout the forward leg, so you're pushing the shin down, you're still reaching through the big toe joint of that forward foot. But fully relax your head as much as you can. It can be quite intense. And remember, the higher up you are, higher up those arms are, the more gentle it will be, and the more you lean back, the less intense it will be. Let's take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, just start to rise up. We're going to twist towards the right. And we're going to bring that left hand onto that right thigh. And as you just saw, my back leg just immediately came with me, because if I was still back here, twisting would be almost impossible. So if your back leg moves up a bit, that's fine. Maybe wrap your right arm behind you, push into that right forearm and draw your right shoulder back and down. Keep the engagement through the legs. Maybe even a little glute engagement, which is hard here, but not impossible. Oof, and then gently come out and face forward. Nicely done. All right, we're going to stay on our little pillows or whatever you have under your booty. We're going to bring that left knee behind us now. So into a more classic pigeon with the legs straight, but we're just going to keep it straight for a sec. And then you're going to bring the leg in and see if you can grab your foot. Now the knee is really going to want to pop out. So to help that, you can always walk your forward foot in. In fact, that's probably going to be necessary for most of you. And then you'll find you can align that back leg a little better. So instead of coming out there, you can draw it back a little bit further. Push your foot into your hand so your arm straightens, and you may feel a little stretch through the front of that left shoulder. And you want to have your hand on the big toe edge of the foot, because if you had it on the pinky toe edge, your shoulder would be rolling in, and we want to get a stretch through the internal rotators. So as we push the foot into the hand, those internal rotators of the shoulder are getting stretched because we're in external rotation. And if that didn't make sense, that's okay. That's why it took me like 10 minutes to figure it out. Nice. And then you're just going to pull your heel in towards your bum now, and just stop when you feel it. You'll know when to stop. Remember, it doesn't have to be the biggest stretch that you've ever had in your life. I quite like bringing my foot into the eye of the elbow, but again, if that's just miles away, don't worry, don't worry. Keep that gentle engagement of pushing your foot into the arm or hand as you draw the heel in. That's going to create a little bit of resistance, which is why I can lift my hands up. I'm feeling pretty balanced. And then let go. Oof. All right, we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. So first, let's lift up into down dog. And give it a little walk. Ooh, should feel really good. Maybe come into high plank. Move the bum a little side to side. Any movement at all that feels good. And then we're going to bring the left leg forward. Setting up for this pigeon-like shape. Both legs are bent though. Getting something to support your left hip and glutes and leg and all the good stuff. Push that forward shin down. Spread the toes and push through that big toe. See how this feels. Be mindful of any discomfort around the knee, but really this is all about the hip. This is all about that hip external rotation. So if you feel anything in the knee, it might just be because the hip is quite tight and resisting. So you can always bring the heel into your groin. Heel to groin will make it softer. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist towards your foot. So your sternum is facing your forward foot approximately. And then we're going to reach the arms away, hands either on the floor or on blocks. And really, really lengthen through that left arm now. Reach it away from you. And you might start to lean forward and lower down, but do keep that subtle engagement through the forward leg. Keep lengthening through the side body. And breathe very deeply here. Relax the head. Remember, you can always have blocks under your hands. Make the pose work for your body rather than forcing your body into a pose that's just not working. And then gently lift up, inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Allow your back leg to do whatever it needs to do in order to get you into that twist. Lengthen your spine. Remember, we always want to start from a space of length. I tried to say space and never mind. A space of length, that works. And exhale to twist. Because we want space, we also want a space of length. Just space. And then gently face forward. And we're going to bring that back knee around. Now, remember, most of us will feel better if we bring that forward heel in a little bit more, because this like parallel to the front of the mat thing is really only accessible to like extremely bendy people, of which I'm not among. So I'm going to bring my heel in. So then I can get that back knee down. Now I'm going to bring the foot in under its own steam. So I can grab it. And then we're going to push the foot into the hand. I'm holding onto the big toe edge of the foot so that I can externally rotate the shoulder. So push, 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 push. Maybe you feel a little tug through the front of the shoulder, so getting into the pecs here, the lats a little bit, front of the deltoid. And then let's go ahead and bring the foot in, but still keep that sense of resistance. So like your leg probably doesn't want to come in. And that will just add a little more depth, a little more layers to what we're doing. And now maybe coming to the eye of the elbow, but again, that's not going to be accessible to most people. And keep that little resistance, so you're kind of like fighting with your own body for a moment. Can you engage your glutes here a little bit? Oof. And then slowly relax all the way down. Amazing. All right, and then we're just going to bring that back leg forward, and we're going to come into a seat, any seat at all. This could be on a chair as well, or on your bed. You can get into the shoulders. So let's take that left arm and cross it in front of the chest. Grab it with your right arm and just give it a nice little tug here. You can give it some pulses if that feels good. Just notice where you feel sensation. Notice what happens when the shoulder pulls forward, and then notice if there's a difference when you pull the shoulder down. Nice, and the other side. Giving it a little tug. Just playing with the location of the shoulder. Maybe drawing it down and then noticing if that changes. And your dominant side, your dominant arm, will probably feel a lot different than the other side, probably a bit tighter. It's very normal. Oof, and then let it go. Ha! All right, I know you really want to get into the neck, so let's get into the neck. So switch the cross of the legs if they were crossed, and if not, don't worry about it. Bring your hands to your legs and start with an elongated spine. So inhale to lift, lengthen the spine. Draw the shoulders back over the hips, head over the shoulders, so everything is in a nice straight line. As you exhale, turn your head to the right side. Lower your chin down towards your chest here, and we're looking for a nice little tug through the left side of the neck. If you want a little extra, you may not need any more. If you're feeling enough, just stay. If you want more, bring the right hand to the side of the head and a little bit back here. And you're gonna just gently pull, just a little pull up, so you're lengthening, and then down. So up, down. See how that feels. And you can play with where your head is. So maybe lifting and lowering your chin a little bit until you find the sweet spot in your neck. So everyone has that tension in a little different area. So just play around until you find that spot and you're just like, ooh, oh yeah, found it. And if you wanted even more, reach your left arm to the floor. Not necessary, but an option. Inhale, slowly relax all of the arms down. Bring your chin to your chest. And inhale, slowly lift the head up. Ooh. Take a moment, just notice the two sides of your neck if you feel any disparity. I definitely do. And then we'll do the other side, of course. So let's turn the head to the left. Lower the chin down. And notice if this right shoulder is coming with you. Keep that shoulder back. Chin down. And again, you can kind of play here a little bit where the chin is. Bring the left hand, maybe, to the side of the head and a little bit posterior, a little bit back. And you're just giving it a tug up and down. And again, play with it. Play with where the head is until you find that sweet spot. And I'm pushing my head back into my hand just a little bit, leaning back just a smidge, and that for me changes the sensation. Reach your right arm to the floor, maybe. Keep breathing, of course. Notice if you're holding the breath, if you're gritting your teeth. Soften the face, maybe even close the eyes. And then gently release, hands down, chin to chest. Be heavy for a moment, and slowly, slowly lift. Oh, nice. You can do any other little movements you need to do with your neck or your head or your shoulders. And then we're going to come down onto the back. Have at least two pillows. At least two pillows at the back of your mat because you're probably going to want them. All right. So we're going to lower down shoulders and the head onto this little support that we've created. This could also be a block under your head, but that's just not as comfortable, right? So be comfortable. Nope, I misjudged. Where are my shoulders? Okay, there are my shoulders. There we go. All right, so get cozy. We're going to cross the right leg on top of the left leg. We're going to come into reclined Gomukhasana, and I have us up on pillows because this is a lot. It's a big stretch. So we're going to bring the legs up and flex your feet. Now the tendency for almost everyone is to bring your heels down because that's easier. and it's less intense. So bring your feet up, and then we're gonna grab onto maybe your shins. See how that feels? If you're already feeling like a lot as you grab onto the shins, stay. Don't need to move. Maybe grab onto your ankles. If you're feeling a lot, stay. Maybe grab, I'm gonna fall over. Grab onto your feet. And I always get confused about which leg is which. Okay, I figured it out. All right, and then you're gonna lift your feet up and pull them back towards your shoulders. Imagine your toes are gonna touch your shoulders. And like, I get really confused about which leg is which. So it takes me a minute. Draw the shoulders down, try and relax your head. This is why we lifted up. Now if you wanted more, you could bring yourself down a level. But again, if you're feeling it, then you're feeling it. Ooh. And then relax. Woo. Bring your feet down. Probably more gracefully than that. And then we're going to switch sides. So let's go ahead and cross that left leg over the right leg. And maybe you have to lift up at first to reach. That's okay, as long as you lower back down. Start on the shins, come to the ankles, and finally to the feet. Wow. And if you're falling over like me right now, it's probably a sign that you should go lower in the legs. But I'm really stubborn, and I'm being a bad yoga teacher, and I'm being really stubborn, and I want to hold my feet. Okay, and then we're gonna draw the shoulders down. But you see, I actually just lifted up higher in order to grab my foot. Draw the shoulders back, lift the feet, flex the ankles. And you want to feel this through the outer hips. I clearly have to do more of these. Keep breathing. Ooh. Ooh. And let's release. Ooh. Bring the legs down gracefully. Maybe remove one pillow and bring your shoulders down so it's just the head and neck supported. Arms wide, feet as wide as your mat, and just give the legs a little windshield wiper action, side to side. Breathing into those low ribs. And imagine it's a more sideways breath. We tend to only think of the breath in the front plane, in the anterior part of the body, but really it should be a 360 movement, and especially that sideways movement. It's really good for us. And then when you're ready, bring the legs up, bring the knees into the chest. Give yourselves a squeeze. Maybe lift your nose up to your knees, lift your shoulders and squeeze really, really tight. And then lower all the way down. And bring your legs in whatever orientation feels right for you. Soften the shoulders, soften the muscles of the face. With each exhale, allow the body to grow heavy and soft. Come back to that idea of soothe. Allow your body to do what it was designed to do, which is to heal itself, to soothe itself. Come back to that breath of 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Breathing like this is a great way to engage the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest part of the autonomic nervous system. And it's under your control. It's 100% under your control to breathe in this way and to allow the body to restore itself and to soothe itself. Give your body permission to relax, permission to soothe, permission to repair. next inhale, wherever that falls, hold your breath at the top of the breath. And for the exhale, open the mouth and sigh it out. Gently move the head side to side. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Inhale, sweep the arms high, stretch the fingers, point your toes. Exhale, roll to one side, bring your knees to the belly, chin to chest. And on your next inhale, slowly lift to a seat. Try and keep your eyes closed and your face soft. Inhale, bring the hands together, fingertips touch. Exhale, bow the head. Press the thumbs between the eyebrows. Take one last moment of stillness here. Observe your breath and body. Inhale, lift the head, open the eyes, and thank you all so much. Thank you so much for sharing that practice with me today. If you enjoyed this class, please give the video a little thumbs up, write a comment below, ask me any questions, let me know how you're feeling. And if you want to support the channel, subscribe, turn on notifications so you won't miss the next class that I post.